every once in a while he's gonna step out there and, hey, I'm gonna take the free throw. I'm King James, damn it, don't forget it.
Right.
It's situational, but I think what stands out to me more than anything else that JJ Redick just said, Rob, was I thought Luka was shooting it. I turned around and LeBron was shooting it. That speaks volumes because that's LeBron being LeBron. That's LeBron being LeBron. Because Luka probably thought he was going to shoot it too until LeBron started walking.
Kevin Garnett just fired back at LeBron James, and he's calling the entire GOAT narrative fake. This is the same man who battled Kobe, survived the most brutal era of basketball, and never backed down from anyone. Now he's shattered the biggest story in sports. Garnett didn't whisper his take. He came with receipts, with anger, and with zero fear of the fallout. What began as a casual conversation has exploded into one of 2025's biggest controversies, dividing legends, fans, and even LeBron's closest allies. Because when a champion who earned everything the hard way calls out the king, everyone is forced to choose sides. No turning back.
It is. This is the brand of basketball that these young kids love to play. We got to respect it. We got to find the greatness and the jewels out of all of it versus comparing it. Like, I hate when they compare Kobe to Mike and Mike to LeBron. These are totally different dynamics and people.
They're all great. They're all great.
If anybody's played with LeBron James, the most unselfish superstar probably in sports. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to, he was like the Shaq. Shaq could have been a lot more mean than he was. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
We say, gosh.
Let's rewind to where this all started. Because Kevin Garnett didn't just wake up one day and decide to torch LeBron's legacy. This had been building for years. For the longest time, KG kept his real thoughts on the GOAT debate locked away. Sure, he'd drop the occasional cryptic line in interviews, maybe throw some side-eye at a take on social media, but he never went full scorched earth. Not on LeBron, and definitely not in public. Something shifted in early 2025. It started quietly. A tweet here, a repost there. Then, in mid-January, KG shared a message that instantly stopped timelines cold. The media creates legends. Real ones are forged in silence. No names, no context, just that. And the internet completely lost its mind. Fans immediately split into camps. LeBron supporters rushed to the replies armed with stats, rings, longevity debates, and highlight reels. Others read between the lines. This didn't feel random. It felt deliberate, like Garnett was laying the groundwork for something bigger. Basketball insiders started whispering. Podcasters broke down every word. Former players were asked about it on air, and almost all of them gave the same vague response. KG's always been real. He says what he feels. But the question refused to go away. What was he really trying to say? The tension only grew. Garnett began posting old clips of himself battling in the paint, fighting through double teams, playing a brand of physical basketball that would draw flagrant fouls in today's game. He highlighted an era where defense was mandatory and stars earned every bucket the hard way. And just when it felt like the moment might pass, Kevin Garnett agreed to an interview that changed everything. Forever cemented.
We talk about the GOAT, man. He might be the GOAT. I think that right there probably solidified it. And this is the reason why. He put himself in a place, where I don't see nobody passing him in our lifetime in scoring, for one. Two, when you look at his accolades and you look at the longevity, and then you look at the biggest part of it.
January 14th, 2025. That's the day the basketball world split in half. Kevin Garnett sat down for what was supposed to be a light-hearted conversation about his career, his championship run, maybe a few stories from the old days, standard legend interview stuff. Then, the host brought up the GOAT debate. Big mistake. KG's face changed. You could see it instantly. The switch flipped. He leaned forward, locked in, and delivered words that detonated across every platform. This GOAT narrative around certain players is fake. It's manufactured by the media, packaged for ratings, and sold to fans who don't know what real greatness looked like. The room froze. The host tried to clarify, asking if he meant LeBron specifically. KG didn't flinch. I'm saying what I'm saying. People act like longevity in media coverage equals greatness. Nah, greatness is what you do when nobody's protecting you, when the rules don't favor you, when you can't just team up with all-stars every time it gets hard. That was the shot heard around the basketball world. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. X erupted. Instagram comment sections turned into war zones. ESPN cut into programming. FS1 cleared entire segments. Everyone had to react. But Garnett wasn't finished. He went further, accusing modern media of creating narratives instead of reporting truth. He claims certain players are protected by analysts afraid of backlash, and stats get cherry-picked to sell whatever story drives clicks. You think they'd let their golden boy fall? Never. They've invested too much. They need the story true, so they make it true. That's not basketball. That's business. The interview continued, but the damage was done. Kevin Garnett didn't just challenge LeBron James. He called out the entire system, unapologetically, and with zero fear of consequences, fallout, or backlash. It instantly became the defining basketball controversy of 2025, forcing legends, fans, and media power brokers to choose sides with no turning back anymore at all.
Modern NBA over generations in the past, and saying this is the most advanced league we've ever seen. But there are other people out here that are pushing back on some of these things. And one of those people is Kevin Garnett. Yesterday, Kevin Garnett went viral for the public flogging he gave to Anthony Edwards and his supporters who support that nonsense.
Now here's where things really got interesting, because Kevin Garnett didn't just drop a hot take and disappear. He doubled down, and this time he came armed with evidence. Over the following days, KG began posting detailed breakdowns across his platforms. These weren't emotional rants or vague jabs. This was real basketball analysis, the kind that forces people to stop, rewind, and rethink everything they thought they understood about greatness. Garnett started by pointing to conference strength. He broke down how winning in the Western Conference during his era meant going through elite competition every single night. No rest games. No easy stretches. Just constant battles against loaded rosters. Meanwhile, he implied that others benefited from far smoother paths through weaker conferences. He never mentioned names, but nobody needed him to. The message was clear, and it landed hard. From there, KG shifted to the rise of super teams. He talked about how the league fundamentally changed once players began controlling their own narratives, hand-picking teammates, orchestrating moves behind the scenes, and engineering championship runs instead of earning them organically. One quote in particular lit the internet on fire. "When I won, I had to beat the best. I didn't call them up and ask to join them. That's the difference." To some, it sounded bitter. To others, it sounded brutally honest. He then tackled finals records, not to shame losses, but to question why certain players receive credit simply for reaching the stage, while others are endlessly criticized for falling short. Why does one finals loss define a legacy, while another gets explained away as context, circumstance, or bad luck? Garnett wasn't denying greatness. He was questioning selective standards. Then came the rule changes. KG went deep. Hand-checking bans. Freedom of movement. Offensive players protected by whistles. Defensive physicality slowly legislated out of the game. He argued that modern spacing and the three-point revolution made scoring easier than ever before. Put these guys in the 90s, he suggested, with real defense, real contact, no spacing, and see what happens. That line alone reignited an era versus era war that's been simmering for decades. But Garnett didn't stop there. He did something even bolder. He started listing players he believed were overlooked or disrespected in modern GOAT conversations. Michael Jordan, of course. Kobe Bryant, who KG said was dismissed by a generation that never truly watched him play night after night. Tim Duncan, the quiet giant who won 5 championships with zero drama and somehow still gets pushed to the margins of history. Garnett's point wasn't to tear anyone down. It was to ask why consistency, sacrifice, and dominance without theatrics get forgotten so easily. The basketball world split instantly. Half the internet accused KG of being bitter, jealous, stuck in the past, unable to accept that the game had changed. The other half nodded along. saying he was finally voicing what many had been afraid to say out loud. Old clips resurfaced. KG and LeBron staring each other down, trash talk, playoff battles, championships won on opposite sides of history. This wasn't just analysis anymore. This was personal. And then there was LeBron James. As the chaos unfolded, LeBron went completely silent. No tweets. No Instagram stories. No cryptic subtweets. Nothing. For one of the most active stars on social media, the silence was deafening. His last post before the controversy? A vague message about staying focused on what matters. Fans immediately started speculating. Coincidence or foresight? Insiders began leaking information. Anonymous sources close to LeBron told reporters he was disappointed but not surprised. They framed Garnett's comments as jealousy. Another case of old-school players struggling to accept that greatness evolves. One source said, LeBron has always respected KG as a competitor, but this is disappointing. It's the same tired narrative from guys who feel threatened by his success. But LeBron's silence only made things worse. Every day, without a response, allowed the story to grow. Sports networks dedicated entire segments to analyzing what his quiet meant. Analysts debated whether it showed maturity or insecurity. Social media detectives went into overdrive, tracking every like, every follow, every subtle move. LeBron liked a post defending his legacy. He followed an account that clapped back at KG. Small actions, but enough to keep the fire burning. Fans demanded answers. Hashtag LeBronSpeakUp began trending. Still, the king stayed quiet. And honestly, that might have been the smartest move. A direct response would have given KG exactly what he wanted. A full-blown public war between two legends. By staying silent, LeBron let the conversation rage without adding fuel. But the question lingered. Was this strategic patience, or was he waiting for the perfect moment to strike back? Meanwhile, everyone else had to pick a side. NBA legends started weighing in, and the takes were split right down the middle. Former teammates defended LeBron, praising his leadership, IQ, and ability to elevate everyone around him. Younger players who grew up idolizing him spoke about his influence on the game and culture. Analysts who'd covered his entire career called KG's comments outdated and disrespectful. But others quietly supported Garnett. Players from the 90s and early 2000s nodded along, saying KG was just speaking truth. Old-school analysts broke down how rule changes and modern advantages complicate comparisons across eras. One former champion said off the record, KG's not wrong. The media protects certain guys. Always has. But you can't say that out loud without getting destroyed. Media personalities went to war. Debate shows turned into shouting matches. Producers loved it. Ratings exploded. Every network wanted a piece of the controversy. On one side, people labeled KG bitter and jealous, unable to accept LeBron's longevity and sustained dominance. On the other, people praised KG for pulling back the curtain on how narratives are manufactured and sold. Fans were just as divided. Hashtag Team KG and hashtag Team LeBron trended for days. Comment sections became toxic. Friendships ended. Family group chats exploded. This wasn't just basketball anymore, it was cultural, generational. Old school toughness versus modern excellence. And nobody was backing down. So what is this really about? Because Kevin Garnett calling LeBron's GOAT narrative fake isn't just about basketball. It's about legacy protection. KG spent his career battling in an era that doesn't get enough respect. He watched Kobe get dragged for years. He saw Tim Duncan win 5 championships and barely get mentioned in GOAT debates. Now he's watching a media machine crown a single face of greatness, while ignoring the brutal context that defined his era. It's also about media frustration. Garnett sees how narratives are controlled, how certain players receive endless praise, while others get dissected into irrelevance. He's tired of watching highlight reels replace full stories. Tired of complexity being sacrificed for marketability. And here's the part nobody can ignore. This controversy permanently changes how LeBron's legacy is discussed. Every GOAT argument now comes with an asterisk. Every finals run gets analyzed through the lens of competition strength. Every championship gets compared not just by result, but by path. Kevin Garnett made it impossible to have a simple GOAT debate ever again. And maybe that's a good thing. Because the truth is, crowning one definitive GOAT is impossible. The game has evolved too much. The rules are different. The physicality is different. The spacing, the pace, the culture, everything has changed. The basketball Jordan played isn't the basketball LeBron plays. So what does this all mean? It means we need to respect every era for what it was. It means legends like KG have every right to defend their legacy when they feel it's being rewritten by media narratives. And it means debates like this aren't about tearing greatness down. They're about demanding honesty. Will this debate ever end? Probably not. Will LeBron eventually respond? Maybe. Will Kevin Garnett keep speaking his truth? Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about rings, stats, or trophies. It's about respect. And Kevin Garnett just demanded it. Now, I want to hear from you. Is KG right? Is the GOAT narrative around LeBron manufactured by media bias and modern advantages? Or is Garnett just another legend who can't accept that greatness evolves? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you stand, Team KG or Team LeBron. And if you're still here, you already know what to do. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because the moment LeBron responds or another legend speaks up, you'll want to be first to hear it. This is the biggest controversy in basketball right now. Don't miss what happens next.